And in the years since then, I've helped thousands of people improve their health. Because my question was, how can I learn about this body and become more knowledgeable to keep this body healthy under my own power? How can I do that? Everybody needs to have that power and walk with that knowledge. Everyone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I wanted to ask you, and I know you've answered this before, and also I just put them together. So the last question that I have for you, outside of people just getting more information about yourself and how they can reach you, is two things. The conversation and the energy surrounding 2012, and then also actually the winter solstice, according to Dana Lynn of Electric Mind Astrology, started last night at 11:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Do you have any comments or concerns or anything related to your observations during this time?
Well, in my observation, 2012 is a point of connecting to the universal renaissance, the renaissance of the vibration, that we have to tune into ourselves and tune into this vibration so that our consciousness can rise. One of the things that happened years ago was the Mayan civilization was like the Atlantean civilization. And the Atlanteans was highly evolved people. They were coming from a very high consciousness. And as we have moved through time, we have become more and more dumbed down, whereby our consciousness becomes less rather than most. Rather than more, it becomes less, and that's why most people, by the time they're in their 60s and 70s, their interest in learning about how to take care of this most sacred temple, this most sacred gift that we've been given, becomes less than less in interest, where they want to put this responsibility in someone else's hand, like a doctor, to say, what do I need to get healthier? And the doctor say, take this medication. The person not knowing that the medication is so unnatural that what can they do coming back into a natural rhythm to bring their health back up? And so I feel that 2012 is the time for the Aquarian age to rise more, and as the Mayans and the Atlanteans say, it is the time for our higher rising. For our rising, so we start taking a great interest in our level of development, and we start developing more so that we can now start reversing and returning to the qualities of health that our great ancestors had, where they were living 700 and 800 and 900 years. We're living
absolutely
50 to 70 years old, and we're breaking down with all kind of sufferings by the time we get 70 and 80. Breaking down with all kind of sufferings, being put into nursing homes, being put away. And so the quality of our life becomes the least amount of value or the least amount of gratitude that we can give, because the suffering is the greatest, because we lack the most in the knowledge of understanding how this divine temple can be expanded into its greatest level of experience of living. So I lead with this note that this 2012 is the renaissance of us stepping up into the power that we're supposed to be receiving, the knowledge that we're supposed to be receiving, and the great experience of life that we're supposed to be having, so that we can balance into that vibration and grow into the greater quality of life that we're supposed to be having.
Now that's powerful. I will say that I'm with that 110%. So, again, I just want to, thank you so much for your time and always sharing your knowledge and understanding, experience, expertise in your healing with the community, not just locally, but nationally and internationally. So that being said, if people would like to know more about you, your services, your organization, just anything related, how may they contact you, and how can they find out more about ANCAR 2000 and that program as well?
That particular program, they can go to send an email to breath2000@gmail.com. breath2000@gmail.com. Send an email there and send their number and their email, and we'll get in touch with them. Let them know more. We will be starting to accept more clients. Our goal is to start tapping into clients in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and 70s, but particularly in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, so that we can start develop them into the breath of 2,000 breaths in 15 minutes, so that they can learn the secrets of the third wind, so that they can have the vitality of a 20-year-old for the rest of their life. They can start getting in touch with us so we can start developing them into that program. We have 75-year-olds who are healthier than 20-year-olds. We have 83-year-olds who are healthier than 25-year-olds. And our goal is to get people over 100 where their bodies are working like a 25 or 30-year-old. So they can get in touch with us. The younger they are, the better. If they're in their 30s, they should be getting in touch with us in their 30s so that they can experience what this ANCAR 2000 is, and to be able to experience themselves in the most powerful, healthy state that they could ever be. We have people in this program that in 1 year they were lifting 400 pounds. In 1 year, sisters whose body was stronger than Hercules. 1 year. We have a technique called turtle shell, that when you learn this breathing, your spine will become stronger than a turtle shell. Your diaphragm will become stronger than a six-pack. Your breath will become so long when you can breathe out for 2 to 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Breathe in. 1 breath is equal to someone else 2 breaths, 3 breaths. We had one of our people, she started out, she could only breathe about 2 seconds. Now she can breathe a couple of minutes, and she's 64, and she can do 2,000 breaths in 15 minutes. And that's someone that had high blood pressure who now has normal blood pressure.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, and I just wanted to make a quick note before we go. We will post, again, a few of the links or things that were mentioned throughout the call. Just a few Ignite Your Soul Connection businesses or distributors that are within the network. Just remember to look up if you're looking for, different places where you can get the water also. It was just sent to me that you could look up Restored Inc. You can also look up the page The Root for Life Limited. So I just wanted to share that as well. And Dr. Hapi, again, it's always an honor to speak with you and, hear you share your expertise. And just your wealth of knowledge, not just with the community, not just with your clients, but even with myself. So, again, we thank you for joining us and look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Look forward to everybody getting healthier and this year becoming a better year for everyone's health as well as for their family health. And know that knowledge is the most important thing we are supposed to be receiving every day of our life, particularly when it comes to this most divine gift, this body of life that we call the physical.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us on Ignite Your Soul Connection. Please feel free to engage and make your comments on our Facebook page. Again, www.facebook.com/Ignite Your Soul Connection. We look forward to our final night, actually, of the series, where we bring back Mushin Su speaking on the topic of wealth factors. Ignite Your Soul Connection is being brought to us by Master Force International Leadership Academy, whose commitment is to see our youth educated in a way that they experience being self-actualized at a younger age. We are ascending. Good night.